Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As here we have the former SEC Chair Jay Clayton doing a complete 180, saying a Bitcoin ETF should be approved when he is one of the biggest reasons why there's a lack of regulatory clarity in the crypto industry. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the irony of these comments that you're about to witness is so profound. And I'm about to play you this clip of Jay Clayton said a Bitcoin ETF should be approved. But first, I have a brief announcement. I've been working very hard over the past couple days to make an important lecture that I'm calling the analysis that'll make you more profitable than 99% of retail investors in the crypto market for the next bull run. I've been working on this video for quite a while, and I'm making it available on my OnlyFans and also to my Udemy students, and that will be lecture 180. And if you're on OnlyFans, you'll be able to DM me, send me any messages and ask any questions so that I'll be able to clarify anything you're uncertain about. I believe this video that I created will help all of you be more profitable during the next cycle. Make sure that you know the trend that's coming that I think is going to make more money than any other trend in crypto. And I can't stress enough how important this video is going to be for every single one of you. If you're a Udemy student already, this video will be absolutely free and a continuation of my course. And if you're on OnlyFans, it will be a great resource for you to tap into. Now, without further ado, please listen to Jay Clayton. Be a complete hypocrite.
Can they say no to a spot ETF?
Well,
for how much longer?
Well, it goes to that issue. I think that when the SEC approved the futures-based ETF, they said, let's look at the futures market. We see the surveillance. We see the protections in that market for the end investor that are sufficient. We don't see them in the spot market, so we're going to make that distinction. I think what the institutions are arguing is that those distinctions have gone away, and now the spot product is actually less drag, more efficient for the investor. So if there's not that delta in regulation, not that delta in what I could say efficacy, the spot should be approved. That's the argument that's going on right now. Look, the regulatory process, whether it doesn't matter.
It's been a while already.
It's been a while already. What I would say is this: if they're right, that you can demonstrate that the spot market has similar efficacy to the futures market, it would be hard to resist approving a Bitcoin ETF.
Now, guys, don't you all find it so interesting that after BlackRock files for an ETF, this is the conversation that's being had by Jay Clayton? Of course you do. This is how they mentally manipulate you. This is how they draw retail into the market. This is how they make you want to FOMO into the market, while at the same time trying to make sure that they dump it on your head. I do think there will be a short-term uptrend as far as crypto prices are concerned. But don't be fooled into thinking it's a bull run, because they'll pull the rug out. Ladies and gentlemen, stay the course. And now let's pivot our attention to XRP specifically. See, here I have this from the Black Swan Capitalist, where Jack the Ripper posted that the XRP price has already been set by the IMF and is in the thousands. Now, something I want to make abundantly clear is that I'm not over here promoting the fact that that is a possibility. I'm simply discussing this because I'm a big believer that none of the events we're witnessing right now are random. I've always been a big believer that when it comes to the financial system, everything's predetermined. CBDCs, the rollout of Fednow, crisis after crisis is all coordinated. And something that I do believe is that if XRP is the chosen digital asset for the elites, which I believe it is, they probably have some price projection that they wanted to reach at some point in history down the road. They probably have a price target they wanted to reach in the future that will help solve their problems for the future of the financial system. And while I don't believe this is going to happen anytime soon, it's something that I do want you to have in the back of your minds, because it is a possibility. And it's one of the major reasons why I've always said, despite the fact that I will take profits in XRP when it reaches new all-time highs, I will always have a long-term bag of XRP that I will never sell as well.
When we talk about the price of XRP, we have to look at the debt. And central banks have an incentive to dissolve that debt right now. And they found a solution, which is blockchain. They actually are going to, in my opinion, based on the research, and also I can confirm this, that the International Monetary Fund has already agreed on a price before all this integration started to happen. So this was a few years ago. They agreed upon a price, and I got a lot of information from Linda P. Jones has a friend who worked at the Central Bank of Australia, and she said that they agreed upon a price, and it's in the thousands. Now, when we again talk about the XRP price, we have to look at the global debt, the incentive for central banks to dissolve global debt, in fact, also to utilize this liquidity, source of liquidity from XRP to facilitate, transparency. Moving into the digital economy, this is what they're going to be using. XRP is a financial instrument to serve the global economy.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but something that I 100% can guarantee you is that the events happening in the world stage right now are not random. Fednow is set to go live July 20th. And Fednow will use the new ISO 20022 global financial messaging standard, meaning banks will need to be sure they can submit messages in that format. Fednow will eventually lead to CBDCs, and Fednow will eventually need to be cross-border. It starts off domestic with real-time payments. Then it gets to cross-border interoperability. After Fednow goes live, CBDCs will be right after. And in case you didn't know, they need a crisis to justify why CBDCs need to be adopted to help you. Ladies and gentlemen, people are relatively opposed to central bank digital currencies, for the most part. Right now in this world of cash and digital payments, we don't need a CBDCs, but post-financial crisis that I think will come September, October, post-financial collapse, post-people's retirement accounts and 401ks getting wiped out, post-automation taking away people's jobs, post more potential lockdowns and a potential cyber pandemic. Oh, that'll be the moment where people be open-minded to central bank digital currencies through universal basic income. And watch as the World Economic Forum lets you know exactly how the CBDC will work.
And the one final note I will make is that if you think about the benefits of digital money, there are huge potential gains. It's not just about digital forms of physical currency. You can have programmability, units of central bank currency with expiry dates. You could have, as I argue in my book, a potentially better and some people might see it, or a darker world where the government decides that units of central bank money can be used to purchase some things, but not other things that it deems less desirable, like say ammunition or drugs or pornography or something of the sort. And that is very powerful in terms of the use of a CBDC.
You see how unbelievably they want to try and twist your financial slavery into a positive. Ladies and gentlemen, don't get manipulated into it. There's going to be a moment where this needs to be resisted. And all you need in order to do so is to be informed and understand what's going on. Remember when ISO 20022 went live? Boom, nobody thought anything was going on. But then Fednow announces it will use the ISO standard. Then, after Fednow goes live right afterwards, Brics is planning to announce a new gold-backed currency in next month's summit. Isn't that so unbelievable? The events happening today are not random in any capacity at all. And that's what all of you need to understand. We are witnessing the synchronistic rollout of the next generation financial system and a pivot away from the US dollar. And while it's not going to happen all at once, you guys are witnessing everything the XRP community has been discussing for years happening in real time.
The Brics group is set to introduce a new currency backed by gold, in contrast to the credit-backed US dollar, with countries lining up to join the growing initiative.
The BRICS countries are planning to introduce a new trading currency which will be backed by gold. More and more countries recently expressed desire to join BRICS.
The decision comes a month ahead of scheduled Alliance Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. 41 countries have since shown their interest in BRICS membership and its new currency implementation. Russia's foreign ministry has stated that if African states show enthusiasm, the group's expansion may also be on a Russia-Africa summit's agenda in the end of July. As of now, the BRICS group remains comprised of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Former statistician general of South Africa, Pali Lehola, says the gold-backed currency will facilitate the advancement of developing countries.
Avoiding using the gold standard, we have gone for almost 45 years now since 1980 when this was dropped. And we have seen the consequences, particularly of this to the developing countries when the dollar was adopted as a standard and gold not as such. Yet against that, there's been accumulation of gold in the developing world. South Africa had a much stronger currency when the gold standard was still in force. By going the gold standard by many countries, that many African countries, of course, have, this will be of great benefit to strengthening the currency, the single currency that is backed by gold. It will facilitate development. Because after all, currency is the quantity of material things that societies have. If you use another currency based on material wealth or material things you don't have, it means that you are at the mercy of that country, and and they will charge commissions and the like.
And ladies and gentlemen, with that, all of you need to understand where we go next. You see, currently we're in a world where the few control everything. But we're about to move into a world where there is an illusion of less control by a few. You see, the president of Kenya said to IMF's Kristalina Georgieva and Macron, "We need a currency not controlled by the IMF and World Bank. We need a new financial architecture where power is not in the hands of a few people." And if this doesn't scream XRP and potentially XLM to all of you, I don't know what does. You see, the elites understand that they need to adapt and adopt or die. And they're going to use the technology that's been working and partnering and doing proof of concepts with them for at least 7 years now. You don't believe me? It's still true. Now please listen to the president of Kenya say it himself.
By the way, France has been phenomenal. When it comes to SDR, they were right at the front, and we appreciate that. What we are saying is different. It's not what you're saying. You're saying is good, but it's not what you're saying. We are not saying that we continue to have what the taxes France is paying, the taxes Kenya is paying in the current setup. Those are national issues. We need a financial transaction tax at a global level where even countries like Kenya pay. We do not want anything for free. You will pay more eventually because you have a bigger economy. We will pay commensurate to our economy. And we want those resources controlled not by IMF and World Bank. Because IMF and World Bank, you have the final say. We don't have no say. We want another organization of equals, where you have as much say because you pay as much as we do because we also pay. That's the organization we are looking for.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I remember when I heard the president of Kenya talk was I remembered exactly the phrase the level playing field. Socializing the entire world, bringing the US down, bringing other countries up, having new international bodies to deal with the new financial system. This is where we're going. And in my personal opinion, and the opinion of all of you listening every single day, XRP is going to be the neutral bridge asset. to help in this new level playing field. I can't stress enough how much evidence I've been presenting over the last 5 years on this channel every single day that points to the XRP endgame. And the more everything continues to play out in a coordinated manner, the more it confirms that hypothesis. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've always been right. And that's why we've been singled out with this SEC case. This SEC case is winding down and we're going down the home stretch. Continue to hold strong, my friends. It's almost over. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors? Former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany? Former business director at Swift? Former Swift board member? Former CFO of PayPal? Former head of the DTCC? Former chief business officer at Uber? Former VP of Amazon and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.